short. But short. Thank you everybody for coming out today. My name is Misty Griffin. When I was 4 years old, my mom met a wanted pedophile. For the next 14 years, my sister and I lived a life of extreme physical abuse, sexual abuse, and isolation. We were forced to live and dress like the Amish. When I tried to escape our isolated mountain ranch at the age of 18, my sister and I were taken to an Amish community. I became a baptized member and I spoke Pennsylvania Dutch fluently. At 22 years old, I fled the community after reporting the bishop of my church for sexual assault. For years, I was haunted by the guilt of getting out and leaving so many others behind in abusive situations. The faces of the innocent children especially haunted me. Like so many other Plain communities, the Amish community I lived in had rampant child sexual abuse. The only punishment a pedophile received was 6 weeks of shunning. Such a punishment will never deter a pedophile. Forgiveness is too often more important than getting children away from danger and keeping other kids from becoming victimized. Wanting to sound the alarm, in 2014, I published my memoir, Tears of the Silenced. To my surprise, my story, unfortunately, resonated with thousands of people across the globe. A production company contacted me about making a documentary about child sexual abuse among the Amish, and in May of 2022, Sins of the Amish was released. During the 3.5 years that I worked on Sins of the Amish, I was in contact with over 100 former Amish and Mennonite child sexual abuse survivors. The stories they told me were horrendous, heartbreaking, horrendous, horrific stories. They told me, many of them said that I was the only person they would ever tell. They would take it to their grave because of the shame. They're afraid of losing their families. They're afraid of being kicked out of their church. They said they could only tell me because they knew I would understand. Nightmare that they themselves experienced. That was my goal when I went to the police and reported my stepfather. This was in Washington State. Unfortunately, like so many others, I was blocked by a statute of limitations. Who knows how many children my stepfather has harmed in the 20+ years since then. I hope everyone here in Pennsylvania will call their senators and urge them to support House Bill 1 and House Bill 2. One pedophile can hurt dozens, sometimes over 100 children. If we have the chance to make the predator's identity known, we should take it. I am not sure what humane argument could be made against this. Also, the institutions that cover up this abuse, they must be held accountable. They must be outed and held accountable. I will leave you with a quote that deeply resonates with me and other child abuse survivors. Child abuse casts a shadow the length of a lifetime. Herbert Ward. Thank you so much for listening.